In the middle, rod's pulled up. Yeah, back again. He's chewed through it. I've tied myself a new rig, spinner rig. I'm buzzing with this for capture. Hey, and I'd like to welcome you to my new series on my winter campaign down at Bush Farm. I've just got down here. I'm just going to get the rods out. I was here last week. I'm going to get these rods together now, get them out there. I'll chat to you guys soon. So last weekend I done my investigating. I found 2 good spots. Well, I found a few, but I found 2 that I'm going to fish on. I pre-baited. Before I packed up last week, I see fish showing out there on the spots like I said, and I've come here and I've seen fish in here. So come on, fingers crossed. I've done enough good deeds this week and the carp gods are going to pay me with a carp. But I have pre-baited the spots. I'm fishing one on a spinner rig with a white magger liner and a match to hatch hook bait. My right hand rod down the margin, I've got my faithful mesh bag set up, hard hooker, multi-rig with a match to hatch and a pink topper. The one that's done me all the bites so far. So I'm going to sit here in my hands and hopefully catch one. But I thought I'd let you guys know the reason why I wanted to record this series, my winter campaign, is because I really enjoyed recording the last vlog, and I thought to myself, oh, what can I do better? And to make it better, I thought, why not do my whole campaign and hopefully get amongst all the fish and show you guys exactly what I've been doing. But for the minute, I'm going to sit back on my hands and keep my eyes peeled on the water, and hopefully the fish move back in. I may have spooked them when I'm doing a few casts, but hopefully not. They move around in packs in here, so if I scare one pack off, another pack might move in on the spots. But maybe, fingers crossed, the pre-bait was working for me and it'll do the bite. But come on, you carp. See, I know it's been a while, you ain't seen this jacket, so it must mean it's cold. But I thought I'd run through my little setup, how I'm fishing and why I'm fishing it this way. So I've had to get the storm poles out and put them in the water because I want maximum space here. So if I do have a fish, I can step down here where the water level's down, I can step down into it and net fish. So that's the reason why I've done it like that. And I've got this as a lovely little margin rod on a perfect little spot. I've got this rod on a spot where I've seen fish constantly rolling off something, and it's a good firm drop. So that's the reason why I'm fishing that way. So hopefully I'll catch a banger. Well, you know how it goes. When there's one rod missing, can only mean one thing. Must mean I've got a banger in the net. And I don't think you'll see it, but wait till I show you in real, boy. Once again, that faithful multi-rig slip D, whatever you want to call it, rig, does the dough buzz in to start the campaign on a banger. But wait till I show you what I've got in my net. So the first fish to start the winter campaign, it might be an early winter campaign, but it's still a fish. And wait till you see this banger. I'm buzzing with this for capture. £11, 12. Yeah, boy. Wasn't one I was expecting, but at least the pre-baited spot's working. Let's just hope. Well, it's got to be an achievement. It must be the smallest fish in there, so we'll take that one. But definitely hope the spot produces a bigger fish. I'll definitely think about changing it, but hopefully a bigger one will come. Let's just keep knocking out the smaller ones, but let's get the rod back out and hopefully catch another banger. Definitely one for the future, shall we say. It's a good morning. It's just approaching like 7 o'clock now, and to be honest with you, if I was expecting a bite when I turned up yesterday, I'd say it was around this sort of time. I wanted to have the rods prepped and the spots primed for this time, because this is the time I started seeing the fish show when I fished last weekend. I tell you what, that wind is absolutely blowing a chill. But I've got a cool little bit of information for you. That fish I caught last night actually came from the spawn from the car park lake, which was just behind us. Lee took it out from a netting, and it was went into this lake at £4, so pretty good, growing on size, so one day it could be an absolute unit. Definitely's got like the same sort of shape of the old 40 pounder that I caught recently, but that will grow up to be a unit, trust me. Well, hopefully we'll catch another, but at least we know the spot's working, the rigs are working, the bait's working. Fingers crossed another relative can come sliding to my net. So, unfortunately I've got some bad news. My session's been cut short due to my new addition to the family. My new puppy, Nala, has decided to chew one of the power cables on my door, so I've got to go home and fix it. But I do believe in everything happens for a reason, and I haven't seen any fish down here, so they could be down the other end. So I'm going to bait the spots, keep the bait going in, hopefully the fish can come back in, feed on it confident, because one of the spots worked, and hopefully the next spot starts to work. But you will see me soon in the next couple of days, but until then, fishing with Bam, over and out. I think it's definitely worth staying an extra few minutes though, isn't it? Go on. So this is the following week to the last week you see me I was fishing. I've got a bit of spare time on my hands because I've got a doctor's appointment in about 2 hours time, so I thought better make the most of my time. So I thought I'd tie my winter rigs, sorting some solid bag rigs out. Yesterday I tied loads of leaders, and then today I thought I'd try some solid bags, make most of them on my time. But hopefully in a few days time we'll be on the bank catching some bangers. Oi, oi, and you know you only see me when it's something to do about bloody fishing. And today is Thursday, 2 days after the last day you see me when I was tying them rigs. And I'm glad I did, because we are due rain. It's about 1:30 now, and I'm heading to the lake. Let's hope we can find them. I've got a night ahead of me, and I'm feeling really confident. We've got a real change in weather. Temperature's dropping, big winds are coming, and it's going to rain. So hopefully... Oh, I'm buzzing to get down there, I tell you. But tomorrow night, I've got something a little bit special. One more caster doing their last viewing of their latest series, where they catch the biggest carp to ever be caught on underwater footage. So that's tomorrow night of view. So I've got that to look forward to. But hopefully we can catch a banger. So let's get down the lake as quick as I can now. So I've just turned up to the lake. There's 2 other anglers on at the moment. I'm just going to walk around, see if we can find them and try and work out where they're fishing. See if we can find some fish. But I tell you what, something feels a bit different, something feels good. I'm gonna catch a carp. Let's just gotta find them. So where are they? Well, that is my happy dance because I have found 3 fish. So I'm gonna go back to my van. I missed my van. I'm going back to my car to go get my stuff and set up on them. I reckon I might get a quick bite here. Fingers crossed. Well, I say quick, I've still got to go get my gear from it. It's going to be about at least half hour, but at least I found fish. So the bivvy's set up. I found 2 spots that I'm going to fish on. I've already done the homework before because I've already fished in here and wrote all the spots down in my little black book. I've put a bit of bait out there, but the luck I carry, I've only forgot my receiver with my spare battery. So I'm going to quickly go shoot home because I don't live far from here and go and grab that because I hate fishing with my bite alarms up loud. So I'm just walking back to the car now, but I've been thinking it might work out well, you know. Where I put that bait out there and there was fish down there, it could have spooked them out or anything, but if they know there's bait in there and they can feel there's no lines in there, might work out well. They might move back in, and where I'm clipped up, I can go there and I cast straight out onto them. Yes, the rods are out there perfectly. I'm really happy with the way they went out there. The left hand rod, I'm fishing my multi-slip D rig with a little mesh bag, hard hooker and a topper, just like before, same tactics. And then my right hand rod, I switched it up a little bit, gone for a little bit of a pop-up. Just switch it up, see what's happening, but just saying it was drawing me to the pop-up, so let's just say it was a sign from the carp gods. I'm definitely seeing a good few signs down here now. A lot of fizzes going on, a few bubbles, and I'm definitely sure they're fish and they're not silt, gas bubbles, and they ain't silvers. But you can hear I have got the cooker on because I'm going to have my dinner early, and I always have steak when I go fishing because it's quite easy, but I'm chopping and changing like recipes at the minute, trying to find out the best way to cook it and make it as easy at the bank. But today I bought an egg, I got some peppers, I got some seasoned steak, and obviously I got the Greek bread to go with it. Oh, that looks alright. Steak, peppers, egg. Yeah, boy, I just need a carp. What have I got here? I've caught a dog. What the heck? So, good morning. I've had a proper crap night's sleep, and it's all down to this little fella. And I only met him last night in the weirdest way, let me tell you. So when I went to bed, it just started to rain, and I heard, and I was like, what's that? And I pulled my cover back, and this dog was looking at me straight in the face, and I was like, oh fuck, what the fuck? I thought I was tripping out or something. So I pulled the cover back over my head, and then I had another peek, and I see it was a dog. I thought, what am I gonna do? And I was like, what boy? And then obviously he's a big soppy dog. Found out he's the farmer's dog anyway. He's got out, but anyway, he fell asleep on my bed last night, but then he got like trying to be a bit too much dominant, didn't ya? So I had putting his arms all over me and all that, didn't really like that. So I took him round to the container, tied him up, came back to my swim. It was crying and stuff, barking, and then all of a sudden it stopped barking. 2 minutes later, he's here back again. He's chewed through it. So now I've got him with me at the minute, and to be honest, I've had no sleep, and the wind's been blowing, and then the rain was coming into my bivvy last night, so I thought I had to turn my bivvy round, but he wouldn't get off the bed. So in the rain last night, I struggled trying to turn the bivvy round, and that's why I'm facing the bush. Everything happens for a reason. Hopefully, I'm going to just sit over here on my hands and hope I catch a carp, and hopefully this is a good deed to catch me another big fish. We are out there, we're back, we're fishing, and you might hear in the background Bruno is crying for me. I've just had to walk him round to the container where I've done it at the time, back up once again, and someone's going to come and collect him. So because they want him, they put him on Facebook, and someone's like, hopefully we'll fall in love with him just like I did, but pretty gutted to get rid of him. But I mean, you know me, I'm a dog lover, I've got 2 dogs myself, but my 2 dogs are my priority anyway. But I think old Bruno just needs a bit of time to run around. But enough of that anyway, let's get back fishing. I'm buzzing. Let's hopefully we can catch one there. But I'm going to finally get my breakfast on because I am absolutely marvin. I topped the spots up with a bit more bait. The wind is proper hacking down this way, so let's hope the fish follow the wind and come down here and get on the bait. Fingers crossed. A few hours left. Let's do it. You know there was no chance of cooking this up. Round 2 with the steak around that dog. We would have chopped that right up. Come on, you carp, please. It's that time where every carp angler hates, when they've got to reel the rods in at last knockings. I'm going to get the rods reeled in now. Not much to report back on, but it was an interesting session. I got to meet Bruno, and he's going to go and live a happy ever lasting life, or whatever that saying is. But yeah, he's going to get looked after now. Someone has homed him, and they found out he's got an abscess on his paw, and they're going to treat that as well, so that's pretty cool. But I definitely think he may have pushed the fish out of the swim. I ain't going to lie, we'll blame him for it, but he's a dog. But I'll be back in the next few days. But I've got to get it packed down, get home and get showered, because I've got lakeside tonight for one more cast. I've got that cinema viewing tonight for their last episode. So let's get this gear packed down. Next time you'll be seeing me, I'll be back on the bank.
The best fish.
What a beast, eh?
What an achievement, mate.
Yeah.
This is the Grand Fishing Adventure. Wow, man, that is close to the rig.
Mate, that is massive.
I was not expecting that.
Oi, and you join me for another session down at Bush Farm, and I'm absolutely buzzing. I've got the whole weekend ahead of me. It's Friday, it's just gone 12 o'clock. There's one other angler on. I'm going to go and find out where he is, but trust me, I am buzzing to be on the bank for a few nights as well. Let's just see. The carp are on the munch and they're going to feed. Let's get them, let's go find them. So the rods are all out there. I am absolutely buzzing, and as you see, this swim is familiar. This is the swim I had them good hit of fish last time I fished it. But I'm trying a little test bait, Essex spice, and I tell you what, Christmas has come early. If you could smell and taste it, taste that Christmas cake. Even though it tastes banging, I'm not really a boiling muncher, I ain't gonna lie. But the rods are out there and I'm buzzing. The left rod, I'm fishing obviously the faithful Slip D multi-rig, whatever you want to call it, with a hard hooker and a little pink bobbin, or bobby, I think it is. And my right hand rod is fishing on that plateau where I caught that common from. Good morning from a very wet syndicate. All I've got to report back on from last night is that I had a fantastic night's sleep. The rain stopped from about 11 and then started again from 8 o'clock this morning. I've already had bacon bagels and they was banging. I've moved my left hand rod because yesterday when I cast it out, it hit the area that I like to fish, like the same sort of zone, but it was just off the spot. But the place I like to fish it is just to the right a little bit. So I've reeled that in and a refresh, but I've changed tactics to my Road Lake winter tactics. My little hard hooker with an orange topper. Let's see if them tactics work over this lake, you never know. Well, I keep getting cleared out by about 8 ducks over there. So I've just completely let them annihilate the spot, fill their stomachs with all the bait that I've put in. And now I'm going to switch tactics and go for a little pop-up. I've tied myself a new rig, spinner rig. And I'm going to go for a yellow pop-up Mulbs. It's never let me down before, but I'm going to go for sort of like match the hatch, where I'm fishing like yellowy whites and that sort of browny colour, and when it's in the water it goes a bit lighter. So instead of fishing on the deck, hopefully the spinner rig getting in their face will do the bite. Let's get this rig out on the spot, put a bit more bait out. Now them ducks are fully filled up. Come on you carp. Rod went back out there perfect. I'm really happy with it, and now I can definitely sit on my hands and think I'm going to catch carp if a carp comes into that area. I've even added a back lead. I'm not really that sort of back leaded person, but I was just thinking with it getting into winter the water's going to get a lot clearer, but I know we've had a lot of rain and it's made the water a lot murkier, but just with the back lead making the line pin to the ground so then no fish knows that there's anyone fishing it. Well, that's just a theory in my head, so we'll see what happens. Well, my left rod's definitely not back leaded, so I'm 50-50. Well, it looks like the weather's starting to make a change, but I'm starting to see a few fish, all signs of fish on the right hand rod, so hopefully. But it's about lunchtime now. Obviously gonna need this, all that energy to catch a banger, in I obviously. We're about an hour away from darkness now. I've just topped both the spots up with a little bit extra bait. This spot on the left hand side, the ducks have been back there diving on it. Hopefully now, where darkness ain't far upon us, the birds will go to bed and hopefully the carp will come out to play. But we'll see what happens. It's not long till dinner time either for myself. Got a bit of pasta. Well, I'm going to try a little new thing tonight. I'm going to cook a microwave pasta meal in a ridge monkey. We'll see what happens. And not only that, time is running out and we need a carp, please, please. And I've got a little bet on with the missus. She was saying if I don't catch a carp there's no fishing for 2 weeks, so let's let that happen. Let's catch a carp, please carp, God, please. Didn't come out too bad actually. Let's see how it tastes. Dinner was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and heating it up in the ridge monkey is so simple. Never think about it. Just because it says microwave meal doesn't mean you can't heat it up in the ridge monkey. Well, I've had a little wash, I've got fresh clothes on, and now I'm going to chill out for the rest of the evening, keep my eyes peeled on the water, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we manage to nick a carp. Good morning. The only thing I can report back on is I had a pucker night's sleep. I ended up falling asleep about 20 to 9, I'd say. Where I don't get the best of phone signals and it's so dark over here, it's just so easy to drift off to sleep so early. But I've been up since about 3:30, kept my eyes peeled on the water. Not that I could see much, but I ain't seen anything at all. I'm just going to sit here on my hands, leave the rods exactly where they are, and hopefully the fish can drift around. But now the wind sort of changed direction, it's blowing towards me. So hopefully, maybe the fish was up the other end, they're going to travel through, or I don't know. Well, I'm going to make my bacon sandwiches now, and hopefully there's still time to catch a carp. Just one carp, just one carp. Them bloody ducks, I tell you, they've done me once again. Picked me up, so I've reeled that rod in, I've switched tactics, gone for a darker pop-up. Hopefully they'll leave me alone. I'm pretty sure they've probably cleared out 80% of the bait out there, but I'm not going to put anything more out there. I'm just going to fish that. I've moved my right hand rod to my left hand margin, so I've stopping. I've got 2 traps basically. Any fish coming out the outer bands, hopefully they'll slip over that trap. Fingers crossed. Oh, come on you carp, we're running out of time. Oi, oi. So it's 2 weeks on later than the last time you see me, and I'm down at Bush Farm. It's Wednesday night and I've got my good luck charm with me, and we're going to do a bit of pre-baiting because I'm coming here back on Friday to hopefully catch a banger. So let's go see if we can find the main banger. That's it, boy. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Three rig choices for this evening. This one's going to fish on a nice hard spot, mesh bag, hard hooker, pink adding a little bit of attraction. One's a pop-up. It's going to be fishing over like a little bit of weed on the heli. Nice little match hatch pop-up. And this one is going to be fished on a little clear spot, but this is also a pop-up. Let's get these rigs out there. It's getting late now. Well, if there's one rod missing, can only mean one thing. Must mean I've got a banger in the net. Now look at this chunk. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy, the winning rig. Let's get that rod back out there. Well, this smile is not leaving my face for a while. I'll tell you why. Because I finally caught a banger. Proper. It was well worth the wait, putting the effort in. I didn't film much when I turned up to the lake last night, because the last few sessions that I've come and I filmed, I ain't had much content for you guys. So I thought I'd just get here, chill out, watch the water. Well, when I arrived last night, it was dark, don't get wrong. I didn't have much to go off, but where I pre-baited this swim, and I felt like this was where the fish could be, or definitely would be travelling through. I put the rods out in the dark last night. I left them till this morning, but my middle rod and my left hand rod are perfectly. I'm not even going to reel them in. But my right hand rod in the margin, I felt like it just needed a bit of tweaking, and it did, because it did pay off. Changing to a pop-up instead of a bottom bait, and fishing one of the new orange pop-ups roll bowl over the bed of bait of the old garlic meat and the Essex spice. Well, hopefully we can have some more. I'm not really a back leg guy, but I put a back leg on just to put the line straight across so I didn't spook anything coming down the channel. But I've got till tomorrow morning to catch another banger, so fingers crossed. Let's get amongst them again. To be honest, big up to my little boy. He was the one who chose that colour pop-up. I gave him the choice out of pink or orange, and he went for my favourite orange colour. So let's just say that's him. So big up to my little boy. But as you see, I'm still sitting here with a smile on my face. It's about 4 o'clock now. The light levels are just starting to go down, and I'm still going to sit on my rods.
I'm seeing a lot of little fish activity now, so hopefully the carp ain't far behind. Good morning. I've walked out my swim a little bit because I'm fishing in the margin and it's bite time. I'm trying to stay as quiet as I can, but I have started to pack the gear up once again. But I'm absolutely buzzing to get amongst the fish once again, and what an absolute belter. 30-pounder on this session. Yes, we know it works. So I'm just getting my gear together now because I'm off for going on a little day trip out with the family, and I'm absolutely buzzing because the weather's actually started to clear up as well. But I might be back in a few days time, so I'm going to drop some bait in. But buzzing. Let's get this gear down, packed down. So you joined me down for another session down at Bush Farm. It has been a while, I'm not going to lie, since I've been here. It is the New Year's Eve. I got down here about 9 o'clock. I started my Christmas fishing session off at the road lake with my little boy. I really felt like I could nick one over there. But then 9 o'clock last night, moment of madness, I decided to pack up my gear up and get over here. I got myself over here. I set up in swim 2. I've never really fished swim 2 before, I'm not going to lie. I always overlook it, but when I got here last night it was really flat all around me, and it gives me a lot of water. Obviously you're only allowed 2 rods in this swim, but I'm fishing one just off the corner over here and then one just off the plateau. But I know it's been hard, but I ain't been fishing as much this December because work's been more important to me. I've worked my arse off, I'm not going to lie to you, doing these night shifts, but I did try and do one overnight the opposite way round, getting to the lake at setting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then trying to like sleep through the day, but it didn't really work out because you end up talking to everyone and then you don't get much sleep. So I was like, I've got to put it on the back foot. But now it's December, I carried on my winter campaign. Let's try and nick a carp for you and see what I can see. But let me tell you a bit more about my fishing, how I'm fishing it. So this rod, I got it last night, had a few casts. I found a nice little spot just off the channel, just off the corner. I'm fishing a little match the hatch, a few boilies over the top, nothing too major, just trying to fish for a bite. This one, I'm fishing off the back of the plateau. Obviously I have caught one fish off the plateau, that 35-pound common. And I'm fishing a little stiff hinge on that, with exactly the same. I watched the PVA nugget come up, a few catapults, a bait over the top, not too much, just fishing for a bite. But the reason why I set up in this swim is just because it was so flat and the wind was pushing down there. Felt like the fish could hold up in here. They might like it. It's a southwesterly wind. The wind has been packing it through this way the last few days. We've had really serious winds, but hopefully we managed to get amongst them today. But I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on the water and do my best to get a carp on a bank for you guys. A little tactical decision. I'm going to go toilet, fill up my water. I found another 2 spots that I'm going to fish. One's a little bit further than I was fishing, and then one in the margin. Honestly, the clouds that are coming up from the margin, but I don't know if it's pike chasing smaller fish, but I see a vortex this morning under a tree just in the margin next to me, so I think it's only right to give it a go. Trust me, I'm doing the best I can to catch these fish. I'm going to work hard, but get this water, go to the toilet, freshen up, let's catch a carp. I don't know if you can hear that, that is the wind absolutely howling through the swim. But you know what they say, big wind, big carp. It's been windy over the last couple of days, but not as windy as this. I've even just got up to check the bivvy. The session is coming to the end, I'm not gonna lie. After getting them rods out since I last spoke to you, I felt really confident on the spots and everything. I really felt like I was going to nick a fish. Then about 1 o'clock last night, the wind was incredible. It was blowing right across here. Look, I'm just below a man, so I was quite lucky it was going over. But at one point I did think the bivvy was going over, so I did have to hold on to it. But I did try my hardest and nick one last fish before the end of the year, but it just ain't worked out for me. But maybe it's just ignited more of a buzz to just get back down here and give it another go. But I'm going to bait a few spots because I found a few spots now in both swims. So the rest of my bait I'm going to trickle in. I've crumbed it up so it ain't whole boily, so it shouldn't affect another angler if another angler's in there. It's just getting them a taste for my bait. So until then, happy new year guys. I'll see you next year. I've got to get gear packed up now. Gutted, but see you next time. Oi oi. So, well, you join me for down another session down at Bush Farm, and it's the 5th of January, and hopefully this time round I'm going to get a bit of action. I feel really confident. I've had a walk round and I feel like the fish are holding up in here. Didn't feel like they would be, because from what I've heard, the fish are going to be in a deeper water at the other end, and most captures come out this end. But now I've had a walk round, in the swim next to me where you can't fish, I see a fish in the margin swell, and I stood there and watched the fish, and I realised from the spot where I caught them fish, all them fish from before, there's definitely fish in that channel next to it as well, definitely pushing up against them reeds. So I thought, oh, I've got to jump in here. But I'm feeling really good and confident. Hopefully, let's get some footage for you guys. Let's do this. Let's get everything set up. Buzzing. Well, as you can see there, we are definitely fishing. And I know I probably say this absolutely every time, but I feel really confident where the spots I've chose to fish. The left hand rod, I'm fishing a spinner rig with a little blooder liner and a white mulbs and a few hook baits around it. But when I put that out there with a PVA nugget, I've single done the PVA nugget where I should have done two without the water temperatures, so it comes up quicker. It took about 2 minutes until it come up, and then I put a few baits around it. And my right hand rod, it took me a few attempts to get out there. This is on the faithful spot where I've caught plenty of fish from now, with the multi-slip D, whatever you want to call it, rig, with a magga liner. And this one I've gone with an orange topper with an orange peach and pepper, and obviously the mold's active hard hooker, and fishing like a snowman sort of thing. But it took me 2 attempts to get that rod out there on the spot, but it's worth it because now I can sit there on my hands. But I ain't gonna lie, within the next hour or so I'm probably gonna get my nut down, because I've been doing nights recently, and I did a double shift last night and I've had 2 hours sleep. So my plan of action is to get my nut down for a few hours, and just as nightfall comes I wake up and keep my eyes peeled in the water. But until then, hopefully we'll catch a carp. Catch up with you guys soon. So reeling that rod in, I realised that pop-up just wasn't sitting how I'd like it to sit, so I've decided to reel in my other rod, and I've checked the pop-ups, and I'm switching up tactics. I've gone for super bright braits. I've gone for one pink, one yellow, because we've had a lot of rain recently, so the colour of the water's really dark, so I'm going for getting their face, and hopefully it does it for me. But I'll show you what I'm working with. Gone for a little stiff hinge with a little pink mulbs and a yellow mulbs on a spinner rig. Fishing one just off of there, and this other rod, I see my faithful spots over there, as we well know, but just off this tree, when I first ever come to this swim, the first ever time I cast, and I felt like that was really good over there. I was like, let's go bang on. But then I realised it was only like 3 foot deep, 4 foot, but obviously I know the water levels come up, so it's pushing about 5 foot now. But probably about a rod length off of that bank, I definitely see a vortex and a few bubbles come up. So I'm debating whether to put the rod over there, but just there's no birds around, but the area has just gone side to side a little bit, so I need to get that rod out there ASAP. Let's get off the phone, let's go catch a banger. Firstly, I'd just like to apologise for this lighting. I forgot to charge my light, so I'm using a head torch as a spotlight. But it's about 9 o'clock now. I woke up about an hour ago. I really needed them few hours sleep, I tell you, but I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on the water, because they say most shows move to like the first few hours of darkness and stuff, so I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on the water for a few hours, see if I need to move my rods in the morning or if I need to move swims. But the fish was definitely down here earlier, as they were just in the outer band just behind the rope. They was definitely, because they was making the aerators move and stuff like that, so they was definitely down here. But I'm just going to eat my porridge now, but hopefully I'll catch up when I got a banger in the net, eh? Good morning from a very quiet night. As you see, I'm quite refreshed. I kept getting a few liners on my right hand rod, but I've walked down into the next swim where you can get a better angle where I'm fishing, and the spot I used to fish seems like the reeds have started busting through a little bit more. So where I thought I was like, I definitely got a drop. I think if I come back probably about a foot off the bank, 2 foot off the bank, might present me a little bit better, because I definitely think I could be in the mix of the reeds. Because of the reflection here, it makes it look good. But then you go next door. I should have looked next door yesterday. What a noddy move. But I know it sounds mad moving the rods, but I'm only going to move my right hand rod. My left hand rod feels good where it is. Could get any fish patrolling around the margin into the next swim. Hopefully we'll manage to nick one, but it's not that windy, it's looking good. Hopefully we'll have a carp soon on the bank. Whoa, this is me reporting from my bed, because there is nothing going on except for the rain's just come in. We've got higher pressures, so let's hope the rain turns the fish on a little bit. Ain't rained for a day or two, so come on you carp, we are waiting. I'm doing everything I can. I even considered a move earlier, but I thought we've seen that fish showing the out of balance just behind the rope. I thought I've got to stay here, but I've seen a lot of pike activity as well, so let's sit on these rods and hopefully something comes in. Fingers crossed. Right, it's just approaching 3 o'clock right now. I've got about 2 hours left of light, and I'm telling you what, I'm going to go and put my waders on, and I think I'm going opting for the move. It might sound mad once again, but I've got to do something to try and catch a carp. There's 2 swims they either might be in, new digs or swim 8. I'm thinking no one's fished down the other end for a long time, and I've heard it's waterlogged, so I'm going to get my waders on. I'm going to quickly downsize my gear, make it lighter, and I'm going to get down there ASAP. Let's get this done. Oh yeah, and once again I'd just like to apologise for this lighting as I'm using my head torch. As we know, my light died, but I've moved on to the car park lake. A swim come available and I could see fish show while walking around, so I thought, oh, I've got to jump on that. But as I was getting the rods together, oh, let me turn that kettle off, I swear, 1 second. As I was getting the rods out there, it started to rain, but I pre-prepped all my rigs and that, so I could just get them straight out there once I found 3 spots. I've never fished this swim. I think this is called swim 2. I've only done 2 nights over here on here, 2 work overnighters, and I was lucky enough to have a take on my first session, so you never know. Fishing 2 stiff hinges and 1 spinner rig, 1 off the island, 1 down to the right hand side, 1 down to the left hand side, so I'm covering more water. So let's hopefully we get amongst them. First bit of frost of 2014. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock now. Ain't gonna lie, when I was laying in my bed I didn't think it was going to be that cold. When I looked outside the bivvy door and see a bit of frost, cool. I wonder why I didn't have a fish. Let's use that as an excuse, eh? First bit of frost. I'm only going to be here for another hour or so. I'm going to start getting my gear together because I'm going out for the day with the missus and the boy. So hopefully we'll come back. But there's still a time to nick 1 fish maybe. Wishful thinking. Come on. But it's the fault of there's a £50 common in here somewhere that needs to be caught. Yeah, boy. Come on, you cut. Well, that's me all packed up on another session. It was a blank, but I enjoyed the session. I can't tell you what though, I don't miss these cold pack-ups. My hands are bloody freezing. But the next couple of weeks, I don't think the temperature's going to rise above 5 degrees. So I'm going to play it by ear what I'm going to do with my fishing and see what nights I can drop in. But we'll see what happens. But I'm off out for today. Till then, fishing with Bam. I'll catch up with you next time. See you guys soon. So it's the 13th of January. I got down here last night. That would have been Friday night. I set up in the dark. I'm on the car park swim from last week. Made that little buzz, so I thought, oh, I've got to have a go for that common, and it'd be wicked if I could catch it. So I've got down here. I've set up on the car park swim. I've only done 4 nights on here now, so it's my 5th night, 6th night tonight. But I'm gonna have a watch the water today. I'm gonna get the rods out. Last night I just got the rods on clear spots. Fishing 2 stiff hinges and 1 Ronnie. well, when I say clear spots, I'm definitely getting a drop. There's definitely low-lying weed anyway. But I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on the water and see what to do with these rods. But hopefully we can nick a fish. Any fish will do. But I've only done a schoolboy error, you know. I've got my bloody rich monkey frying pan indoors, so looks like I'll be struggling on a food scenario. Probably pot noodles, not the bestest choice, but I had all that steak to cook and everything, but it's my luck. So let me give you the rundown what's going on right now. Mrs. has come to save the day. I've positioned 2 of my rods onto a pair of spots, one closer to the island, fishing the Ronnie rig again, and I've basically moved my right hand rod to the middle rod, and I'm fishing the same sort of distance where that rod was fishing at 8 wraps, but fishing a stiff hinge on it. But I've only seen fish bubbling into the right hand side of me, so I found a spot there, and I'm going to cast that one when I get back anyway. But I've got someone looking after the rods with me at the minute. He saved the day just because of the missus to say, everything's going to work well, come on the carp. I've got a buzzing for it. So I thought I'd run through exactly how I'm fishing this session anyway. The left hand rod, I'm fishing just off the island. I'm fishing a little Ronnie rig with a little white pop up. I'm fishing chops over the top. I spotted out this morning. I spilled up a new bit of spod braid, and I thought I'd do a bit of spodding, just a bit of like halves and stuff over the top, not too much bait. So I put 3 spoms of a midi over the top, and then my middle rod I'm fishing out to another clear sort of spot, a little bit of low-lying weed, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely got a bit of a softer drop, but it's getting more of a drop there. I'm fishing a stiff hinge on that one, a little yellow one, exactly the same, 3 spoms over the top. And my right hand rod, I'm doing something different what I normally do. I'm fishing a single to a few bubbles where I've seen where I left that rod to be roamed on, basically. Well, Sunday morning, I had a good night's sleep last night, not even a liner, didn't see nothing. I ain't seen nothing all weekend really. Like, I've seen a few, like, feel like fish are feeding signs, like a few bubbles and that, but no physical fish. I think the weather has a lot to play with it, because obviously where the temperature keeps plummeting, but I feel the next 7 days I've got a night work ahead of me, and I've tried doing overwork night as the opposite way around. It really don't work, so I'm going to hang my fishing stuff up for a week or so, because I know we've got snow ahead of us, but I'll be back soon, and hopefully the weather looks better in a few weeks time. But I'm going to get my gear together, and once again, as Sundays, I'm off to do something with the family, so I'll catch up with you guys soon. So just closing up the gate, and I've looked on the weather, and it does say it might snow next week, so maybe fishing might not be a bad idea. But even though I didn't catch this time round, I tell you what, it just gives me the buzz to get back and go again. It was November since I had my last fish. I'm probably on about maybe a 9, 10, maybe 11 day blank now. But you know what? I'm getting back. I need to go again, I tell you. But as I say, I'm off for a week now, but I'll be back again to get going. But see you on the next one. And you joined me down the lake once again. It's the 7th of February. It's been a while since I've been down at Bush Farm. Last weekend I worked down the Essex Kart Show and I properly enjoyed myself. But now I'm back at it. I got my mojo back. I managed to nick one in between the work overnighter last weekend. Successful work overnighter. I managed to do it after all the efforts of wading out and everything like that. You wouldn't believe it, my net broke, but we can welcome this £29.10 banging gold bar common, eh? Well worth the efforts. It's just gone 3 o'clock now. Just going to get her back, probably fling the rod out for another hour or so. It's going to take me about an hour to get the rod out, but we'll fish till 6 o'clock. Pack up at 6:30, get back down the Essex show. Yeah boy, what's going on? Let's get her back. But I feel like I got my mojo back, so I'm back at the lake. I'm going to have a little walk around now to see what I can see, but I feel good to see what happens. So first stop, new digs, to see what's happening in here. It's a bit overflowing still. We've had a lot of rain recently, but let's see what the carp radar's saying.
Let's get this done quick. They're still fizzing down there. I've just got the rod out. But I didn't get much content because I had the buds to get the rod in the water. But I'm going to keep quiet and I'm going to set my gear up over here anyway now. See what happens. That's the socket, the second rod ready to go. Just need to get a little mesh bag on this. Gone for a little new thing. Parker Baits OG fish. Let's see what if this can do the damage. Getting this rod out here now. Fishing a little pop up on the heli. Into like some old dead weed. There's definitely fish showing over there. Let's get this rod out. Tidied up, bivvies up, rods are out. Little fish showing. Just need a big fish on the end of my rods, eh? It's just a waiting game. We'll see what happens. Well, you know how it goes. If there's a rod missing, it can only mean one thing. Must mean I've got a banger in the net. Yeah, boy. Yeah, it's just gone 12 o'clock. In the middle, rod's pulled up. I've just landed this 34-pound mirror. Absolutely buzzing on a work overnighter as well. I've got my mojo back. Yeah, boy. I've got a few more hours fishing. Let's get this fish back and hopefully catch another one. Buzzing, yeah, boy. It is what it is. It's 20 past 5. I've just packed my gear up and it is absolutely raining. It's rained for the last 2 hours. My gear's a bit wet, but I tell you, it was worth that banger. I'm going to get this gear back round to my van now and head off. I'm going to go work a happy man. The mojo is back. Yeah, boy. I'll see you in the next one.
The rolls a riot van and sparks excitement in the boy. The rolls, but the policeman look annoyed.